All right, hey, I'm Matt. I'm the one who is building the project golf course wiki, and today I want to talk about how I illustrate greens uh, when I go play golf. I map them, and I just want to show you how to do it. We start out with so what I do is I print out one of the booklets, and I'll usually just copy. If you look, the greens on these pages in the bottom and on the image are the same. Sometimes, if I really want to get technical, I'll I'll rotate the SVG to get the green to be on the approach shot angle. So the one on the left you can see here probably would benefit from being rotated about 45 degrees. But for this video, people are going to be happy with just having the greens mapped. So I'm going to show you how to do that. First, you can see here that when I go out, I basically just use my scorecard pencil to mark up the green, how it looks. And if you look on the right side here, you can see the green has a bit more detail. I can show you this image here. And if I see like a clear ridge line, I'll mark the ridge line. And I use these cross hatchings on the arrows you can see in the middle as sort of like steeper hills. So if it's just a single arrow, that's just kind of like a general slope that you can stop the ball on. If there's one hatch there, it looks like the ball will probably accelerate if it's rolling down. And if there's two cross hatchings there, it's pretty steep, and you're not really going to be able to stop the ball at all on that level of hill. And then the contours, too much detail. It's pretty obvious when you play golf and you're hitting approach shots to greens like that different tiers and stuff. It's good to have them where how the edges bend, whereas sort of the slopes, they're more general and they all flow together. So let's get started. All right, so I have the hole for number 2 here. So we're going to do it because there's a little bit more detail here. So the first thing I'm going to do is, this is already assuming that the hole has been mapped. I have another video that can show you how to do that. So we're just going to start from this template, and we're gonna make the green. So the first thing we do is we get rid of all these layers that we don't need. So we're going to leave the sand in here. I usually leave the sand next to the green, so people have it as a reference. And then we are going to resize the page. Zoom in a bit here. All right, so if I was mapping the green, what I would do right now is I would take the path, and I would basically add a stroke and remove the paint. And then if you upload this as a temporary thing before you go and play, you can mark your arrows on there just like I did, and then come back and fill them in. So we're just going to go back the way it was. So the arrows already exist on other greens that you can download. This is from number 1 at Pasatiempo, which was a very expensive round of golf that I mainly focused on mapping the greens and played terribly. But I was able to share all this information for everybody here. So you can just copy this layer, or you can drag it. If you just click on it, it won't let you right click to copy, but if you go up here and just click copy, it should work. You're going to want to add a new layer here. I'm going to call it arrows. And we just want to paste. And it's there. I guess we don't actually need that new layer. Then we want to resize it. Make sure we select everything. Make sure that we keep everything proportional. And everything's resized here. And should be really good to go there. Now all we need is one arrow of each side, because we're just going to duplicate them. So there I have one arrow of each side, and there I have one ridge line. This is plenty. Everything else can get deleted. Okay, the next thing we're going to do is we're going to import the image that I showed you earlier of the green, and then we're going to sort of fit it into the background. So let's go to import and greens, and then hole number 2, PNG. Put that. All right, and put it as the top layer. We're going to need to zoom out quite a bit here. Shrink it down so it'll fit. All right, pretty close there. So at this point, I'm going to turn the opacity down to 50% so I can see right through it. And we're pretty close. All right, I'm actually going to move the arrows layer on top so it's easy to see the white arrows. And lock the image. So we're going to take the longest arrow here, and it's going to go right on top of this one right here. And then this medium-sized arrow, it's just going to go right on top of this medium-sized arrow right here. And then we can just put the small arrow in the back section of the green. And these look like they could all be a bit bigger, so let's just change the proportions there. That looks a little bit more easy to read. This arrow could be slightly to the side there. There. We're going to duplicate this guy. Just move it here, duplicate it again, down here, duplicate it one more time. We're almost done. Then we're going to take our little ridge line, and we're just going to make sure that the ridge line fits the way that it looks on the paper. Duplicate that, move it right on over here, do the same thing, and we're pretty much done. So that looks pretty nice. And then we can save that. Let's lock our arrows and hide the image. And as you can see there, it looks great. We can probably move this arrow just a little bit so it still conveys, but it's not right on the edge there. Everything there looks pretty good. And the only other thing I might like to do is change the color of the arrows to match, say, the fairway or something, but I think the white looks pretty good on the mapped green here, and so I'm just going to leave it like that. So I will delete the image. It's important to delete the images from these vector graphics because the vector graphics are a really small file type, and if you leave the image on the vector graphics file when you upload it, it takes up a ton of space instead of none, and the website runs more slowly and it's more expensive to operate, which is why I highly recommend using vector graphics. So this is just a Inkscape tutorial. I hope you enjoyed it, and that's it.